Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am BorderWise, and welcome to the From the Depths Guide to Building Small, or, more accurately, the From the Depths Guide to controlling the size of whatever craft you're building, so it doesn't end up too big or too small or too medium-sized, although I'm not sure that's a thing. So in any case, From the Depths is being updated at a rapid pace, and there's a lot of things in which I make a tutorial on it now. It'll probably not be relevant in the next few coming weeks, so we're gonna build something, well, not build something, sorry, I'm skipping ahead. We're gonna do a guide today that's reasonably timeless. It's basically, how do you build small? How do you, well yeah, I'm repeating myself now. So, firstly, well, I say this to people all the time, is that building small is great practice for building in general, because it means you have to plan ahead, you have to do things in a certain order. Like, building in From the Depths is a little bit like playing an RTS game. There is a build order. There's orders in which you do things. There are no hard and fast rules, but there are recommended guidelines to it. And it takes practice. No matter what, it takes practice. The first time you try it, it's probably not going to work out the way you want. But, depressing stuff aside, there's two main methods, and the first method I'm going to talk about is, it depends on whether you build the inside or outside first. So this first method is building the inside first. So we're going to do that, and the great thing, I'm just going to build a small craft right here. I don't particularly mind about how good or bad it is. So we're going to do that. And do my usual story right here. And we need certain things. Point selection, not that, the other one. UI is good. Target polarization, and let's have, for detection, let's have a wireless snooper, because that's always fun. Then we're gonna have, what else are we gonna have? We're going to have an inter-vehicle transmitter, because those are always good to have. And whoop. And we're going to have general purpose processing cards. We'll start with 4, because that's probably more than... Actually, let's not do that, because I have a plan for this, kind of. I'm just going to build out of wood just for demonstration purposes. So, that's our AI compartment, and the way I usually build things these days is that from the rear forward, you have ammo, AI, and engine. And then that's the rear half of the craft. All the stuff that is important is all in one place, so you can concentrate defenses around it. And I tend to find that the AI sometimes shoots at engines. So if for aimpoint spoofing purposes, sticking the engine in the kind of the thicker part of your craft, and also towards the rear, it does help quite a bit. Not sure when that started happening, but it's happened. So if you want to avoid the ammo compartment getting shot up too much, I recommend one of the things you can do is have at least 3 blocks between it and anything else. So, if I really wanted to maximize the whole building small thing, I would just I'd just stick them right next to each other, because who cares. But you can do this, and we're gonna have some ammo, and I intend to stick at least 1 missile on this thing. So let's go here. Let's do ammo storage. I love these new ammo boxes. They save so much block count. 1, 2, 3. 600. 3. And hopefully the 3-meter rule still applies. So we've got a fair amount of ammunition right now. And yeah. There we go. There's our ammo compartment. And now, since engines tend not to be explodey, we can put them right next to it. So what we're going to do engine-wise, we're going to have an electric engine and RTGs. And by the way, I tend to build things quite long. This thing's already 20 meters long and only like 2 meters tall. You don't have to do that, that's just how I do it. So, electric engine, because I'm lazy. And we're going to do that. How's our power? 400, that's probably plenty. I'm going to stick few RTGs in here. Let's go here and let's have a 4-meter long engine. Let's do that. We can always change things later. So, here is all the essentials. We got an engine, we have an AI, and we have ammo. So, basically, we've built all the significant internals first, and then we can just layer it out like so. I think this is going to be a helicopter of some description. Also, part of the trick of building small is building glass cannons. That's another fun experiment to do, is just build something that can dish out damage but can't take it at all. It's actually good practice, and it is really what this game is geared towards, things that dish lots of damage, because the best defense, as the saying goes, is a good offense. If you kill things fast, you don't need to worry about them killing you. What do I want to do? I want to do this. That doesn't feel right. Well, I've goofed. Aha! I'm a genius. I am not a genius. What am I? Or you could just do this BorderWise. That'll work. Okay, so we have a back, and we'll soon have a back. I mean, we have a front and a back. That's very nice. Inverted right there. Inverted up here. This has turned into a let's build, and I didn't mean for it to do that. But hopefully you can see just how fast it can be to build some of these things. So that's the back, that's the back, that's the back. Air. And I'm going to be clever and stick something like this right here. And missiles controller. So is this expensive? Yes. Yes, it is. Sometimes to make things small, you have to use more expensive components. Like, trying to build something small and cheap just means that... Well, I don't want to say it's bad to do that, but it can be a problem. Okay, this is... needs... whatchamacallit, let's put the faux thing. Yeah. Yeah. And let's do this. That is a roller. That is a roller. And we need a pitcher, just like in baseball, which we'll do right there. That's a bad place for it. This thing is not a particularly practical design, by the way. Simply because anything made solely of wood is about as delicate as you might think it is. So let's go here, here, and here, here. Control seat. Okay. Let's just modify the missiles for a second. Regulator, guidance. Save. And load. And we should probably... Nah. Let's go here and... dedicated base pillar. Will this thing fly? Did I just build this? No, I didn't build this thing backwards. Thank goodness. I thought I had. Okay, add broadside. Sure, why not? Why not? Sorry if this isn't particularly exciting to look at. It generally isn't, so let's go ship tank. Use pitch controls. Let's have you hover. There. I should not have done that so soon, so. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hey, look at that! We made a thing already. Let's spawn a marauder. And how about that? So that's an example, and that took about 10 minutes of I didn't put a full thing on here, did I? No, I did not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I could make this a lot more pretty. Actually, wow, this thing almost has enough ammo to sustain fire. That's actually pretty good. So yeah, that's an example. I just made an effective starter craft that's 6,000 materials. And I built it in about 10 minutes. That's an example of method number 1, building the internals first. Now, you might get mixed results with this. So, aircraft, let's go prototypes, helicopters, interni, firsty, heli. Cool! Let's see, do those missiles do anything to the Marauder? I think they do. Cool, that'll do, pig. Okay. Where are we? We're here. Okay, so the other method is to build the hull first. And I tend to find that building the hull first works really well for ships. Simply because I used to have a very bad habit of making ships too big. I know I'm not the only one, but making the entire hull first, particularly the way I do it, it works well for me, and it took me, I think, about 1,800 hours to stumble on it. It works pretty well to build the entire hull first. Make sure you leave a minimum amount of room in it, so 1, 2, 3. Let's make a very small ship. Let's make it 5 wide, and then I tend to build canoes, so I'm just going to shamelessly do that right now. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and okay, so there's our very narrow ship. And let us make this a little bit taller. Let's make this, I'm trying to remember now. Let's give it, I'm thinking of the engine I'm going to put in here as thing. Like building your craft, even if you don't build the internals first, do think of them ahead of time. It'll save you so much grief. What is a thing I want engine? I designed an engine the other day that's not very good, but it's okay. I want 2 meters of space in here. So, there we go. Should have done that in the middle. Not sure why it didn't. There we go, there we go. Okay. Again, no armor, because armor takes up a lot of space and is expensive. So, if you really want to min-max the size of your craft, don't bother with armor. So, it works better than you might think. Okay, so there we have this middle bit, which I'm going to mark in red. I sometimes do that. I just mark the middle of a craft in red so I remember exactly where it is. It doesn't have to be red either, it can be any color. So now, prefab time. Control P. Biff that, and length, height 1, 2, 3. Yes, and width of 5, please. 1, 2, 3, 4. And length is Okay, so we have a very short hull. 40 meters long is tiny by From the Depth standards. This thing's probably going to be a bit of a nightmare to balance propulsion-wise, but it's okay. We'll work on that. So what do we have here? We have a problem. So we're just going to throw caution to the wind and stick some ammo in here, like so. I feel a cram cannon coming on. Yes, yes I do. I feel it coming. It's in my bones. I should not have been painting in that color. Oi, 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 oi. You do what I tell you to do, game. Ah! Okay, cool. And it doesn't need pointy stuff on the back, so we're gonna get rid of that. It does need propellers. I have made the back of this thing slightly too narrow, but it's okay. It's a-okay. I say. Because I'm going to do this. Is this a good idea? No, it's not. Is putting the propulsion on this too early a good idea? No, it's not. I'm doing it because I'm a rebel. Ah! There we go. Okay, so that's probably going to fail horribly, but no worries. We've got a plan. We've got a plan. 2 and air gap for no reason. 1, 2. Should have prefabbed the other bloody thing we had. AI. So AI is here. And consort 1, 1, 2. Transmitter. And inter-vehicle transmitter. All the transmitters. The transmitters, they are so nice. What's our... So we're still just over 100 blocks. And since the AI overhaul, it's actually easier to build things small. Because it means that what you can do is you don't need extra space in the AI compartment for maneuver cards. So that's pretty nice. Unless you want to stick more of them in, but I have never needed to stick one of these things in ever since the AI update. Like, I just never have. My ships aren't fancy, I guess. Okay, so there's that, and now we're gonna stick in another RTG engine because actually we can stick it on top here. Really save some space. This thing has no armor, and I regret nothing. Okay, so we have a little bit of space in here. I just realized that I'm going to make an engine now that is not what I was planning to do, like, at all. There we go. Using RTGs as armor. Great. Okay, so we got power. Now we need a whip on. We're gonna stick the whip on right here. 3x3. The worst cram turret you did ever see. Do 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 do. I'm gonna go here. And local weapon controller. Feel safe. Radius of 1, and this. Ah, no! It's, I haven't finished this thing in 10 minutes. What are you gonna do, though? So, what were we doing? We were doing this, we're doing this, all super compact. And that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to do... Screw it. No, no, no. Whenever I find a space that needs a single block to fill it, I stick in a surge protector. Yes, this whole thing's made of wood. Still helpful. Okay, so now what do we have here? 1, 2, thing. Okay. This is going to be a tiny little cram cannon. Teeny tiny lemon squeezy. That doesn't rhyme, but it's okay. Yes, so one of the... someone pointed it out to me, and I completely missed this, is that all cram pellets now are the same cost. That's hilarious, because as of right now, high explosive pellets are still the best. So, and autoload is only 15. That's amazing. That is amazing. Yes, and a bit of ammunition right here. Control. It's in my face. And so prefab length 3 and 2 and 3 and there we go. And this thing is going to poke out something dreadful. That is okay. Increase. Yeah. 500 millimeters. That will do nicely, pig. Do nicely. And armored in wood, because wood is the best armor. Don't let people tell you otherwise. Yes, because it is the best armor. Don't try and deny it. You know it in your heart. It is true. And let's go. And this is going to need a noodle barrel. Incidentally, one of the things planned for crams, eventually, I'm not sure when that's going to happen, is that... Where's the... Oh, there it is. Is that... they will start at 500 millimeters. So, anything below 500 millimeters you won't be able to do with crams, which is absolutely fine by me, because because anything below 500 millimeters just isn't that good. So, let's go like so. We're going to need to stick stuff on this, aren't we? Yes, we are. What was I doing? I was doing this. Bare minimum of detection equipment. Okay, cooking with gas, cooking with gas. Cooking with the gas. Oh, banana fudge. Let's be clever. Ah, crud. Yeah, that's another trick for building small, is build with asymmetry. I forgot to put the wireless... Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, all the colors. Nah. We're okay, we're fine. We don't need that. We don't need no education. We have the internet. For kids, get real education. Don't just stay on the internet. Cannot emphasize that enough. Okay, so there's our barrel right here. So let's have a noodle. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, freaking... And there we have a mostly complete, weird canoe thing. And is it going to... Okay, that's an issue. Right, building small ships is a lot harder than building small flyers, because small flyers you have to stick a lot of thrusters on them anyway, and like they're all the consistency. Well, what am I looking for? Not looking for. What am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that with flyers, you just have air resistance in all directions to worry about. With ships, you have air and water. So that is a bit of a bummer, but it can be easily fixed with a little bit of balancing. If I stick some lead down here, what will it do? It will do that. Look at you! Are you gonna have horrible recoil? Let's give you a 10-second reload. Ah! Okay, turns out we need more of this. Gonna try to avoid doing my old party trick. Of just using ACB controlled props on everything. So, there we go. Behavior, naval. Broadside below, let's say 500mm range. 90. Adjustments. This thing goes on water. Maximum terrain. Turning circle, do not reverse. Maneuver and ship. Da 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 da. That will do. And if I spawn in something, what's something really inoffensive? Spawn in a vanguard. Well, look at that. We made a tiny, tiny ship. That is about good enough to take on a deepwater guard craft, although I don't want to count my chickens. This is the least accurate cram in the world. Oh god, yeah, that's terrible. It's also not very fast. Don't worry, we can fix this. No! We got hit! We got hit by a very, very weak little shell. Look at us suddenly going much faster. And there you go. So that's an example of how to build a tiny ship, for instance. Now, I wasn't talking much during this episode, it was mostly show and tell. But that's basically the two ways to build a small craft. And if we can just get rid of that guy for a second and turn you off. And if we spawn in our previous little... Oh wait, I didn't save the first thing. So, these things are roughly the same size. Yeah, so this thing is 244 blocks, this thing is 182, 6,000 materials, 4,000 materials, and that's mostly the missiles. So you can use either method, so building the internals first or building the whole hull first, in order to essentially set a size limit for what you're doing. And this works with aircraft, this works with ships, this works with whatever. I am lucky enough that both methods have worked for me, but for those of you, watching, you basically have to experiment and try both, or a mixture of the two, until you find the one that consistently works for you. Because I've been lucky before, I've been unlucky with building things big or small. And so, to give an example of the way you can mix the two, is what you can do is you can make a skeleton of the hull first, so just the outline, and establish compartments for ammo, engines, AI, and turrets. And then you can fill in those compartments with all of the aforementioned. And then you can finish up the hull, and then you just use up whatever internal space is left over. And to give you an example of that, I'm going to summon up a very, very not small craft. So, this is my pride and joy, Star Slung, my big girl. So this is not a small craft at all, but she's built in the same way, and I stopped her from being overly large with this method. So if I recall, the way I built her is this. I started with the turrets, because I wanted her to have 4 big turrets. You'll notice that all of them are the same size. So I plonked those down first, and then I built backwards. I built the engines, the AI, and lastly... well, not lastly, I then built these ammo compartments, which are 3 separate ones, separated by heavy armor. So yeah, lots of ammo, a long, narrow thing. And then, once I'd done that, I finished off the hull. So, I shaped the hull, making this a like long, tapering hull shape, which I like, and it works consistently well for me. And once I had done that and gotten all those out of the way, I started filling in the gaps. So I filled, I put missiles in the front here, because always was the plan to have missiles. And also the head Deley blades. I'm very fond of using Deley blades these days, simply because you have to find room to put propellers. And it's hard to line propellers exactly up with the center of drag and the center of mass on a ship. Simply because you have to, well, make space for them. And numerous little tweaks in here and there. And, oh yeah, so I also added the LAM system, which is still pretty good, even after LAMs and missiles and all what have you have been changed. They're there and here, various ACBs, control surfaces, blah blah blah. But, so yeah, that's kind of the order of building this thing, and this works with smaller craft as well. Like, if you get good at building small craft, building bigger craft gets a lot easier. It even has all these little simple weapons on it, which I'm very happy with. So yeah, let's get all of these guys lined up, because that'll be adorable. So what we have here, oh goodness me.
Moving out. Moving out. Moving out. Moving out.
I'm totally not just trying to set up the thumbnail right now. Perish the thought. Okay. Whee. There's the thumbnail. Or something like it. So any case. Yeah, so that's basically my rambly guide on how to build small, or something, on how, at the very least, to build in an order that allows you to build a lot smaller. So yeah, I hope you liked it, I hope you learned something. Oh yeah, the disclaimer again, everyone who plays From the Depths has their own way of building things, their own build order, and things that work for them and things that don't. Don't let other people discourage you, or like try and tell you that how you do it is wrong. Like, as I said before, there's no hard and fast rules, there's only highly recommended guidelines. And so, on that note, thank you all so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. If you want to see more videos like this, support me on Patreon if you like. And I will see you next time in From the Depths. Farewell!